Coming up on UIWtv, take a look at how the Esperanza Peace and Justice Center is uniting the community. Next, see how Latin Explosion made a comeback at Dubuis Lawn. Finally, see how the Communication Arts Department is getting active. All of this and more on UIWtv.
Hello and welcome back to UIWtv for our first newscast of the semester. We can't wait to share with you all the latest in news, entertainment, and sports. I'm Miranda Ramirez.
And I'm Mauricio Cruz. Thanks for joining us today as we start off the fall semester. Personally, I'm most excited about pumpkin spice lattes. But what about you, Miranda?
I'm most excited about being back in my classes and seeing all of my peers again.
I love to hear it. And there's certainly lots of things we're looking forward to, and a lot happening in the world of UIW. Purchased in December of 2019 and originally set to open this year, UIW is now giving us a first look at the redevelopment of the Founders Hall. In a press release video, UIW showed off renovations that they are aiming to achieve with the Founders Hall. One of the renders shown in the video is the future home of the Lewis Center of the Americas, which serves to foster positive relations with students from across the nations of the Americas. Many features were shown off, including restorations of the auditorium, rooms, and event centers. UIW says that it aims for the project to be completed in 2026 and for other schools of the university to be moved to the Founders Hall. One of those schools, our very own School of Media and Design, which means the future home of UIWtv is the Founders Hall. We'll bring you more updates as they continue, so stay tuned.
UIW received a grant of $15,000 to improve sustainability on campus. The grant awarded by the City of San Antonio will be used to enhance gardening and composting efforts. Dr. Benjamin Mealy, chair of the UIW Sustainability Advisory Board, said, quote, "This project will attract students to UIW, invest in providing green spaces in urban areas, prevent soil erosion on campus, and increase carbon sequestration. This project includes renovating the greenhouse, constructing a seed library, expanding the compost site, and more." A group of communication arts students went to the Esperanza Center for Meet the Mission. McKenna Mujigamba is here to bring us the story.
Built in 1920, the Esperanza Center stays uniting the community. The buildings have been completely restored, including the casita, which is the only original building left.
We were able to rehab it, bring in air conditioning, change out the electrical, the plumbing, and just make it a safe place for community members to come.
The woman who originally lived in the building always offered rice and beans to anyone who came knocking. The legacy of being a place for community members to come get a bite to eat or a safe place to stay continues as the center is currently housing a group of women called the Promotoras.
Yeah, she's one of the women. But it's cute because it's all like, anything that they might need, to make their life a little better. They come here looking for resources, and the women that are the promotoras help them.
The center is opening Westside's first museum inside the historic Rubens Ice House, dedicated to presenting and preserving the culture and legacy of the community. For UIWtv, I'm McKenna Mujigamba.
If you would like to volunteer at the Esperanza Peace and Justice Center, you can contact them at 210-228-0201 or on their website at www.esperanzacenter.org.
The Pi Sigma Alpha Club hosted a presidential debate watch party on September 10th. The event became so crowded that the club had to use 2 separate rooms for the party. Students and faculty watched as former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris discussed their differing policies and what they would do if elected as president. Pi Sigma Alpha is hosting another event for their club next month, October 8th at 4:30 in AD 385. Now, the election is still a couple of months away from happening, but UIWtv News dedicated to get input from our fellow students on what they are feeling about this election. In our first election 2024 student poll, we asked 4 questions about the election, and here are the results. When asked about who you all would be voting for, 79% said Vice President Kamala Harris, 12% said former President Donald Trump, and 8% said no one. When asked about Vice President Kamala Harris, 58% had a favorable opinion, 25% for neutral, and 12% for unfavorable. When asked about former President Donald Trump, it was 79% unfavorable, 12% favorable, and 4% for neutral. And when asked if you'd be voting, 87% said yes, 8% for maybe, and 4% for no. Now, this poll was taken from September 17th to September 24th, just a one-week poll. It will only be taken by UIW students, and they each had one response. We do want to thank everyone who participated in this poll, and if you'd like to see us do more polls like this in the future, please let us know. In other election-related news, Miranda, what's been going on with voter registration?
Well, since we are in the presidential election year, it is especially important to both cast your vote as well as knowing that you can. To check your voter status online, go to votetexas.gov and click on Am I Registered? From there, select name, county, and date, and then fill in your information. If you are registered to vote, your status should say active. The last day to vote is October 6th, so be sure that you get your registration done before then. Before we head into the break, let's take a look at our social media question of the day. This time we asked, how do you celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month? We'll circle back to our viewers' responses later in the newscast, but for now, UIWtv will be right back.
Matt and Leland are out at the arcade. Maybe we should go join them.
Sure.
Let's go.
Okay. Adam, put your hands back on the wheel.
Oh, like this?
No!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually on the wheel.
I'm sorry.
Should you be smoking while driving?
Yeah, they've been doing it since the 60s. It's 1985.
I don't think that's safe. Adam, the road!
Distracted driving. It's always been a problem, even in the 80s. For more information on distracted driving, visit www.nhtsa.gov.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
You are watching UIWtv.
Welcome back, Cardinals. I'm Holden Tijerina, your entertainment insider for today. Let's take a look at some recent events on campus. UIW reporters McKenna and Case went to the SEC building to ask UIW students their opinions in a new segment called Cardinal on the Street.
My name is McKenna Muchigamba.
I'm Case Victoria.
And today we're asking man on the street questions to UIW students.
What do you think of using AI for your schoolwork?
I think it's beneficial.
Schoolwork is just like using AI to at least like not boost it or to create your own work, but like at least like add some touch-ups to your work. You don't want to make AI your whole entire like background or anything like that. You also want to have like skills to like work upon it.
I think it should not only be accepted, but it also should be encouraged. And I honestly think they should be teaching us how to use it.
There's nothing wrong with AI. The thing that people are most afraid of is what people can use with it. So they put their fear onto the system itself.
My professors actually encourages us to use it as long as we cite it properly and we use it the way that she wants us to. And I think it's pretty beneficial.
I think it's very much a double-edged sword because there are benefits, like I know with like computer programming and stuff, that there is a lot of benefits to using AI.
It's good as long as you don't copy and paste.
All right, back to the studio.
I think you just have to be very careful with how you use AI. In other news, the annual Talk About Mental Health merged with the UIW Independencia event to give it a new spin. This year, students filled out loteria cards with signatures from different mental health booths, each organization offering engaging activities and resources on various mental health issues. Students learned while enjoying products from local vendors and, of course, free tacos at the end. Talk about a fun time. But this event wasn't the only one to incorporate Hispanic heritage. The Campus Activities Board threw a Latin explosion at the Dubuis lawn just last week. There is reporter Alejandra Ortiz with more.
The Latin explosion celebrates Hispanic heritage backyard style, with tosta chanclas and piñatas to street tacos and elotes.
So I wanted to come for the food, and then as I was here, I saw all the candy and all the games, and I was like, that's what really made me want to participate.
The event had backyard activities where students could win prizes. Senior Nayeli Soto played the Mexican bingo game Loteria, but she won more than just her favorite candy.
I spoke to at least 10 different people that I'd never met before, and I got them to play games with me. I even exchanged some social media, so now I get to have some new friends around campus.
Students played in the grass and mingled at the tables. They also enjoyed a performance by Mariachi Cardenal to represent Mexican culture through music.
Events like these that show, our Hispanic culture and like what we are as a university and as a city of San Antonio as well. Just come out and experience it and, take pride in it.
UIW continues to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. However, CAB events will continue to welcome students year-round.
We just want students to feel comfortable and feel at home. This is their home away from home, and so we just want it to be a big family. So if that's what it feels like, then today was a success.
For UIWtv, this is Alejandra Ortiz.
Sounds like a fun time. Remember, Campus Activity Board events are free for all students. Be sure to stop by for future events. UIW held its annual Mercado last Tuesday to also celebrate Hispanic culture and heritage. Reporter Amos Davis checked out what this event had in store.
The UIW Mercado invited students to the Westgate Circle. Here, vendors gather to showcase their own products in celebration of their culture.
I think it's just important, one, because we're in San Antonio, which is considered South Texas, but also UIW is considered an HSI, Hispanic serving institution.
The event hosted a variety of vendors selling desserts, refreshments, snacks, jewelry, clothing, home decor, and accessories.
We keep growing, so we just have more vendors this year. I believe we're at 27, so close to 30, which is a lot more than we had in the previous years. People keep hearing about it. Vendors reach out to want to do it, and then they reach out again in the spring, so it's just becoming bigger and better.
The connection runs even deeper as vendors come not only to advertise their own businesses, but also to share parts of themselves, family traditions, and history.
My favorite thing about it is just showing off our designs. We also sell kids clothing as well. So we do Mama and Me clothing and things like that. And just seeing people's reactions, I don't know, I guess that's just why we just love doing it.
For UIWtv, I'm Amos Davis.
UIW continues to promote cultural diversity by hosting events like these. If you'd like to attend some of them, visit UIW Engage on your Cardinal apps. The Hispanic community of the St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church celebrated a traditional Mexican night. It was organized by their prayer group to raise funds for the church and strengthen community bonds. Isabel Lara has the details in Espanol.
En el salón de eventos, el ambiente estuvo lleno de colores, música tradicional y, por supuesto, los sabores auténticos de México. Desde hace 3 meses, el grupo de oración ha trabajado con dedicación para ofrecer una velada que celebra y comparte las raíces mexicanas.
Somos como 15 o 16 personas y hace 3 meses antes nos empezamos a organizar para ver qué tipo de comidas íbamos a poner, pues como la comida típica de México.
El entusiasmo crecía conforme se acercaba a la fecha. Semanas antes del evento se vendieron más de 100 boletos y se esperaba que muchos más se vendieran a medida que la noche avanzaba. ¿Cuáles son los distintos platillos que están sirviendo?
Los platillos que se seleccionaron fueron asado de puerco en salsa verde, gorditas, flautas, tamales, Chile rellenos, pozole, tostadas.
El próximo evento de la comunidad será en honor a la Virgen de Guadalupe y cada miércoles este grupo se reúne en el salón número 2, demostrando su dedicación y compromiso. Además, invitan a que quienes deseen participar o donar a unirse a sus actividades.
Pues este evento casi lo hacemos para convivir, para compartir pues la comida y conocernos, pero sí está abierto para todo el pueblo, todas las personas.
Desde San Vicente de Paúl, para UIWtv, soy Isabel Lara.
If you would like to visit the church, it is located on Southwest Loop 410. McKenna Muchigamba is back to bring us Music in a Minute.
Welcome back to Music in a Minute, where I bring you all the latest hot goss of the music world. Linkin Park fans are having their hands held high as the band announced they are considering a 2025 reunion tour featuring a new vocalist, Emily Armstrong, most known from the band Dead Sarah. On the topic of rock and roll, REO Speedwagon is saying it's time to bring their ship into shore and throw the oars away forever. The band is set to retire from touring due to creative differences. The 1980s singer Kevin Cronin and basset player Bruce Hall have said to have conflicts leading to the disbursement. Miley Cyrus is being accused of copying Bruno Mars' 2012 ballad, When I Was Your Man. The lawsuit claims the harmony, melody, chorus, lyrics, and chord progression were all purposely taken. Safe to say the star might not be buying herself flowers anytime soon. Well, that's all for this week's Music in a Minute. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, McKenna. That was the absolute hottest of gossip. The UIW Theater Department will be putting on their first show of the semester, titled Betrayal. The production is about an affair a woman named Emma is having with a man named Jerry, who is also the best friend of Emma's husband, Robert. The show touches on the hard topic of infidelity and how jealousy and worries affect relationships. The theater department will be performing the show on the first 2 weekends in October. But whether you're a music lover or a movie lover, we've got something for you. Kyle Hayden is back with The Final Cut.
Welcome to The Final Cut. I'm your host, Kyle Hayden, and in today's episode we'll be talking about Alien Romulus, which released on August 16th, 2024. This is the 7th film in the Alien franchise, the 9th if you count the 2 Alien vs. Predator films, and the movie was directed by Fede Alvarez, who also directed the 2013 version of Evil Dead and the 2016 film Don't Breathe. This episode will contain major spoilers for Alien Romulus, so continue watching at your own risk. The movie picks up right where the original Alien left off, with the wreckage of the Nostromo drifting through space. But what's this? There's a cocoon amongst the wreckage. Weyland-Yutani picks up that cocoon, cuts it open, and inside is the original xenomorph from Alien, still alive despite being launched out into space. The film stars Kaylee Spaney as Rain Carradine and David Johnson as her adopted brother Andy. Andy is an android, and he was reprogrammed by Rain's father before he died. The pair live in a Weyland-Yutani mining colony on the desolate planet of LV-410. But when an opportunity to escape presents itself, Andy and a reluctant Rain join a group of scavengers who intend to raid a decommissioned Weyland-Yutani space station that is drifting above the planet. That space station is where the xenomorph from the opening ended up, and don't look now, but Weyland-Yutani has cloned some facehuggers from the alien DNA, and the scavengers just set them loose on the ship. One of the scavengers gets facehugged, and in no time at all there's a chestburster knock knock knocking to come out. Meanwhile, Rain has replaced Andy's chip with that of a damaged android named Brooke, and in doing so, Andy's prime directive has changed to now doing what's best for the Weyland-Yutani company. And what's best for the company is recovering the black alien goo last seen in Prometheus and Alien Covenant. This black goo is now called Prometheus Fire, and Weyland-Yutani has been conducting experiments with it on board this ship. After several very tense scenes in Zero Gravity, Rain, Andy, and another survivor named Kay manage to get back on board their ship and blast off into space, just in time as the space station is obliterated by running into the rings of LV-410. There's still 20 minutes left of runtime though, so you know this movie isn't done yet. It turns out Kay injected herself with the Prometheus Fire, and she just gave birth to the offspring, who grows from a newborn baby to 8 feet tall and 4 minutes flat. This goofy alien isn't the first alien-human hybrid we've seen in the franchise. The first was the newborn, all the way back in Alien Resurrection. And between the newborn and the offspring, the newborn definitely looks scarier. Alien Romulus has done well, both critically and commercially, but the two main criticisms I've seen leveled at it online both relate to fan service. Firstly, Andy repeats Ripley's famous "get away from her" line, and no, it doesn't make sense, and yes, it is cringe, but this is a legacy sequel, and legacy sequels always recycle lines from the original film, even if it doesn't make sense. Secondly, and far more significantly, the film makes use of deepfake technology to resurrect the late Ian Holm, who portrayed Ash in the original film. I'm okay with deepfakes being used to service a story, but I feel as if the character Holmes' likeness was used for could have been played by any other actor, and honestly, I would have preferred to see Michael Fassbender return from Alien Covenant and Prometheus. Overall though, I did enjoy this film. I've heard some people say that it's a nice return to form following Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I enjoyed both of those films, and I enjoy this one. Director Fede Alvarez has said he has several ideas for a sequel, one of which is a third Alien vs. Predator film, which he would like to co-direct with the director of 2022's Prey. Either way, I'm excited for the future of the Alien franchise. I'm Kyle Hayden, and thanks for tuning in to The Final Cut.
Thanks, Kyle. And me, myself, I'm not a huge mover person myself, but you guys should 100% go check it out. And that's all I have for entertainment today. Until next time, I'm Holden Tijerina.
I have 2.5K followers and 0 following.
5 students.
What do you want me to do there? Clean.
Trapped in one room.
No! Graduation tonight. This can't be.
Benji.
Must work together.
I'm pretty popular.
Guys,
It's him.
On May 8th. Stay tuned for Involuntary Hours.
Trying to call you and stuff, but
Oh, it's okay. I really just want to spend it with my family.
No, that's understandable. But hey, so I was wondering if you were still interested in going to go see the Stephen King It movie when it comes out.
Why are we always going around in circles with this issue?
What do you mean?
Give your eyes a break. Reduce screen time.
Not every killer has the face of one. Not every killer makes its presence known. Sometimes it walks in the shadows, disguised in the smoking mirrors, hiding, waiting till you tune the line to notice it following behind you. That's when it latches on, when you're so attached to the numb feeling you conditioned yourself to accept that you can't live life without it, so that in the end, it isn't the killer.
Glad to see you're still tuned in. I'm Matthew Falatich, and I'm here to bring you all the latest updates in sports. Let's get started. Now, we begin with UIW football, and they came into last Saturday's match against Northern Arizona 1-2 on the season and ranked 5th in the Southland Conference standings. So a win was needed both to save their season and their chances of winning the Southland. And it paid off, both with a victory and some records broken by one player in particular. Junior running back DeKaylon Taylor rushed for almost 200 yards on Saturday, including a record-breaking rush from scrimmage. On your screen, look at him going. A 97-yarder that got the Cardinals a touchdown. It is now the longest TD from scrimmage in program history, breaking a record previously held from UIW's current head coach, Clint Killow. Graduate QB Zach Kadzella scored 2 in the end zone, throwing 180 yards. You can see one here on screen right now. Wide receivers Mason Pierce and Roy Alexander caught those throws respectively. The final score for the game was 34-18, and UIW now sits 2-2 on the season and now is up to second place in the Southland Conference. The next match for the UIW Cardinals will be on October 5th against Prairie View here at home at Benson Stadium. Now to get to some Lady Cardinal volleyball action, the teams traveled to Las Cruces, New Mexico for the New Mexico State Tournament last Friday and Saturday. Their final non-conference matchups before Southland play begins this week. The team went up against the Southern University Jaguars and the New Mexico State Lobos. UIW beat the Jaguars 3-0 while losing to the Lobos 1-3. The ladies now enter conference play with a 7-3 record on the year, on top of being first in the conference standings. The ladies Cardinal next matchup will be tonight, an in-state matchup against fellow Southland Conference rival, the Texas A&M Commerce Lions. This game starts at 6:30 p.m. and you can watch it on ESPN+. Now, UIW Communication Arts Department held its first Run Club meeting last Thursday. Let's check up what they were up to.
Members start their meeting with a big stretch before they set off on their journey. Although not everyone is there for just the run.
I like coming to Run Club because I get to catch up with my friends and we just get to talk about anything and everything.
I like Run Club because we get to hang out with people and it's a cool way to like wind down and like chill and just talk about anything and everything.
I like Run Club because it's my time to like come and walk like outside of school without having to take time out of my schedule, and I get to hang out with my friends as well.
Members come out to Run Club to have a good time with friends while also getting their cardio in.
Opportunity to all hang out, have fun, and get some fresh air and be active. Most important part.
Run Club holds their events every other week at 6:30 p.m. at Olmos Basin Soccer Field. Come out to their next meet on October 7th.
Man, that looks so great. UIW Run Club meets are every other Tuesday at the Olmos Basin. The next meeting will be October 8th, and you can find more information on the UIW.com Instagram page, which is at UIW_com. Now that you're all caught up, let's take a look at this week's games to watch. Now, here's one that's going to be interesting. As I said, UIW football is 7-3, and they're beginning going up against Southeastern Louisiana. This is a different one from today's game. It's going to be on Saturday, and it's a away game at Southeastern Louisiana, September 28th at 12 p.m. Hopefully, they'll be playing well. UIW soccer, they'll be playing up against Houston Christian University. Another away game, same day, but it's going to be at 7 p.m. at Houston Christian. And finally, for the last game, it's going to be UIW football versus Prairie View A&M University. It's a home game here at Benson Stadium, Saturday, October 5th at 6 p.m. But if you're not able to get to the game, you can watch it on ESPN Plus along with all other UIW football games and other games coming from the Southland Conference. And that's all the sports updates that we got for you today. For UIWtv News, I'm Matthew Falatich. But before we go, I've got to say something about Hispanic Heritage Month. You know, as somebody who is Hispanic, it is very special to represent and support the culture for Hispanic people, not just here in Texas, but across America and around the world. So what are our responses coming from our viewers, Miranda?
Thank you, Matthew. Well, let's take a look at what our viewers had to say. Joe Aguilar says he is giving a talk at the Citibank Corporation on October 1st and is receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. He is also being inducted into the Hispanic Sports Hall of Fame on October 15th. Big congratulations. Esmeralda says she listens to Selena, Vincent Fernandez, and Intocable, and may be dancing. Finally, Shane Wayne says he eats, all of which are great ways to celebrate. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us.
We hope you have a happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Be sure to join us for our next broadcast on October 10th. I'm Maurilio Cruz.
And I'm Miranda Ramirez, and this has been UIWtv.